The launch of the Galaxy S24 series is around the corner. We're still seeing a lot of leaks. There might be some news for consumers in a market outside the US when it comes to the chipset. According to tipsters Taran Vats and Yajish Brar, it seems that the Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus will come with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chipset in India. On the other hand, they also mentioned that the base Galaxy S24 will continue to feature the Exynos 2400 processor. If these claims turn out to be true, it would bring about a change from what recent rumors have suggested. Years leaks indicated that the entire Galaxy S24 series would come with Snapdragon power in the US. However, it was believed that models outside of the US would replace Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 with Exynos 2400 for both Galaxy S24 and S24 Plus variants. The Ultra model is expected to have Snapdragon horsepower across all markets. This development could be news for consumers, as it means they won't have to spend a fortune on getting a Samsung phone with Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 if they opt for S24 Ultra. Generally speaking, Snapdragon chips are considered superior to their Exynos counterparts, although Samsung's chips have had their advantages in areas from time to time. Moreover, the Adreno GPU found within Snapdragon chipset typically provides compatibility for functions such as emulation. We'll have to wait for the release of these phones to see if the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 truly outperforms the Exynos 2400. Wouldn't it be funny if the standard Galaxy S24 turned out to be more powerful than the Plus and Ultra? Historically, Snapdragon models have generally showcased performance compared to their Exynos counterparts. This time it seems like the Exynos variant is catching up. While we can't assess the performance of the Galaxy S24 series until its debut, we can currently examine benchmark results. Initial Geekbench scores favored the Snapdragon model. Now the Exynos model is swiftly closing in. In terms of single and multi-core tests, the S24 Plus with Exynos 2400 achieved scores of 2067 and 6520, respectively. On the other hand, the S24 Ultra with Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 scored 2234 in single and 6807 in multi-core tests. Recent scores for both models show improvements. The Exynos model now achieves a score of 2193 in single-core and 6895 in multi-core tests, while the Snapdragon model has increased to a score of 2297 in single and an impressive score of 7104 in multi-core tests. These results indicate that the Exynos 2400 chipset is rapidly catching up with its Snapdragon counterpart. However, we can only obtain an assessment after reviewing both models. However, it's reassuring to see that Samsung is making an effort to boost sales this year by offering the Snapdragon version in India as well. It's important to note, though, that this could lead to an increase in price. Speaking about pricing, let's now delve into the cost of the devices. According to tipster Roland Quant, the Galaxy S24 series is expected to start at €899 for the 128 gigs variant. With Roland's track record, we can have confidence in the accuracy of these leaked pricing details. The 256 gigs model of the base variant is reportedly set to be priced at €959. Moving on to the Galaxy S24 Plus, it is believed that the 256 and 512 gigs versions will come with price tags of €1149 and €1269 respectively. As for the Ultra, its initial price will be €1449 for the 256 gigs variant. If you're interested in storage capacity, you might consider investing in the 512 gigs version, which could cost around $1569, or even go out with a top-tier 1TB variant, estimated at approximately €189 in Italy. It's worth noting that these prices are slightly higher than what we saw during year's launch of the Galaxy S23 Ultra. Samsung is expected to sweeten order deals by offering double storage capacity without any extra charge. For instance, by paying €899 upfront, you'll be able to enjoy an upgrade from a 128 to a 256 gigs version of the Galaxy S24. If you decide to pre-order the Galaxy S24 Ultra for €1449, Samsung will provide you with the 512 gigs variant of the phone. Additionally, depending on your location, Samsung may offer perks like complimentary discounted Galaxy Buds Fan Edition or a version of the Galaxy Watch that operates on Wear OS. Now for those excited, we're going to run through the full specs, design, and the price for each model in this 24 series to help you guys decide which one is right for you. Now for my regular viewers, you guys have seen this, so just skip to the next video, but if you're new here, then hit subscribe button for future updates too. Now we'll get right into it. The standard Galaxy S24 is coming with a 6.2-inch, 120Hz dynamic AMOLED display. We get a resolution of 2340 by 1080, and it's going to be using Samsung's new M13 OLED panels protected by Gorilla Glass Victus 2 with an Armor Aluminium 2.0 protection. We get a 12 megapixels punch hole camera for the selfies. Then on the rear, it's a 50 megapixels primary camera, a 12 megapixels ultra-wide, and a 10 megapixel telephoto, and of course it's going to be powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 in South Korea and USA. While European users are going to be getting the Exynos 2400, we get 8 gigs of RAM and a choice of 128 or 256 gig storage, and this is going to be a UFS 4.1. It comes with a 4,000 mAh battery, and while having a 25 watts fast charging. We do know that we're getting 5G, Bluetooth 5.3, and Wi-Fi 7. Now it's coming with One UI 6 based on Android 14, and it's expected to launch from about $850 to $900, and that's going to be in February 2024. Now next up, we've got the Galaxy S24 Plus with a 6.7-inch 120Hz dynamic AMOLED display. We get an upgraded Quad AT Plus resolution of 3120 by 1440, and it's going to be using Samsung's new M13 OLED panel, and again protected by Gorilla Glass Victus 2 with an Armor Aluminium 2.0 protection. We get a 12 megapixels punch hole camera for the selfies, then on the rear again, it's a 50 megapixels primary, a 12 megapixels ultra-wide, and a 10 megapixel telephoto. It's going to be powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 in South Korea and USA, and again Europe users are going to get the Exynos 2400, and again we get 12 gigs of RAM, then the choice of 256 or 512 gig storage, which will be UFS 4.1. It comes with a 4,900 mAh battery, while having 45 watts fast charging, and again we get 5G, Bluetooth 5.3, and Wi-Fi 7. It's coming with One UI 6 based on Android 14, and it's expected to launch from about $1,050. Now finally, we've got the most premium, the Galaxy S24 Ultra. With this 24 Ultra, we got a 6.8 in 120Hz dynamic AMOLED display. It's got a resolution of 3088 by 1440, and again, it's using Samsung's new M13 OLED panel protected by Gorilla Glass Victus 2. We get a 12 megapixels punch hole camera for the selfies. Then on the rear, it's a 200 megapixels primary camera, a 12 megapixels ultra-wide, we get a 50 megapixels 3x telephoto, as well as a 10 megapixels telephoto with 10 times optical zoom. Despite previous rumors it's going to be powered up by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 in all regions, and it's only this 24 and this 24 Plus that is still going to be using the Exynos, and with this 24 Ultra, we get up to 12 gigs of RAM with the choice of 256 or 512 gig storage, and this is of course UFS 4.1. It comes with a 5,000 mAh battery, and while having 45 watts fast charging, and we're also going to get 5G, Bluetooth 5.3, and Wi-Fi 7. Now it's coming with One UI 6 based on Android 14, and it's expected to launch from $1,250. So overall, the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra brings a fresh design with more strength and much brighter display. On top of upgraded hardware and lots of new A features, the inclusion of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 in all models of the Ultra feels like a good move from Samsung, and with upgrades across the whole lineup, it should see plenty of success. Now, because of the similarities to the predecessor, though it's probably not going to make anyone with an S23 Ultra rush for an upgrade, but for anyone with an older S phone or looking to get their first S phone, then it's going to be a great choice. Now, of course, being so close to launch, more and more details are going to continue to come in, and I'm going to be sharing them as soon as they do. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing in the future. So, what are your thoughts about the performance of Exynos version? Share it down below in the comments section, and for more updates you can check out our channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See you for the next time. Peace out.